Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all the sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
So this is the part where I usually tease what's going to happen in the show tonight, but we're just going to spin the wheel and see what happens. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey Doug, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
I think we're going to start with a consonant.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I guess I don't know how this game works.
Me either. Me either. That's the thing about this game. There's no rules.
Right.
Just kind of make it up as we go along.
Exactly. I like it.
So, we'll kick things off with The Mandalorian and Christopher Lloyd. So we heard rumors about Christopher Lloyd coming to the third season of The Mandalorian. I mean, and when I say rumors, like, it was being talked about like this was fact.
Right.
Like this was happening.
That's how rumors kind of get put out there these days.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just happening.
Yeah. I heard about this. Must be true.
Right. So every time I see this where it's like, yeah, we heard rumors, I'm like, I thought this was a done deal.
Well, I would say, I don't know if it's not a done deal. I mean, in much the same way that most other actors who are trying to like conceal something for Star Wars, I'd say we can call it confirmed now. How's that?
Oh, really?
No, just see what he says here.
So before we get to questions from the audience, I heard that you're going to be on the next season of The Mandalorian.
We were all sworn to secrecy. So, I don't know.
Right. So, much the same way other actors just lie to our faces. I think it's in the contract that they just have to lie to us.
Yeah, I mean that was a soft confirmation.
Yes.
In all honesty, we were all sworn to secrecy.
Right.
Okay, so that says yeah. Okay.
We who? Yeah.
If he really wanted to lie, he could have just been like, "What's The Mandalorian?"
He could have done that, gotten away with it, and we'd all believed it. Because, Christopher Lloyd. But
right,
the thing that I find is going to be really awesome about this is like, something they've been doing with these streaming shows a little bit. That it's kind of working though, but you're kind of crossing the franchise streams here with actors and stuff, and it's like, wow, it's actually working. I always felt like, especially with Star Wars, you kind of almost needed the lesser known actors and things like that to come in and not, you didn't want, really, it wasn't until like Sam Jackson, right?
Right.
Coming in, did you have like a huge actor in a Star Wars movie? Star Wars made actors
arguably, as far as like film and cinema go, like they were there in the original trilogy.
Yes. I mean, but for kids, like young kids.
Right,
they had no idea who Alec Guinness was.
They weren't your everyday. Sam Jackson's not gonna fly under the radar like Alec Guinness or Peter Cushing.
Exactly.
These were actors that were well known.
Yes.
Ian McDiarmid, when even then, in cinema and stage acting, he's known.
Right. Definitely on stage. Yeah.
So I don't know how well known he was at that time.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not sure. Like I said, though, as a kid, those were actors of a different era that I was not really aware of. You know what I mean?
But I guess, George Lucas bridged the gap himself, though, with Sam Jackson. With, I had his name, and then I lost it. Dooku.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee. These aren't lesser known actors.
Right. But Christopher Lee even falls into more of the Peter Cushing and Alec Guinness.
He's in the same cloth.
Yeah. So, but Sam Jackson was fresh off of like Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you know what I mean? He was pretty mainstream at the time.
Right. So yeah,
but yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just something I never really expected, but now that they're actually bringing in these better known actors, for spots on these streaming service, Disney Plus shows, Star Wars ones, it's actually working. Whereas I never really considered it because it was just never done before.
Well, I guess, but at the same time, I guess they're not bringing in superstars at the height of their popularity either.
True. Some people, that's the thing about today's TV, right? There are a lot of actors that we're just unaware of because there's so much TV to consume. You can't possibly get it all. Yeah. So,
I guess the closest to like being at the height of their popularity and stuff would be Sam Jackson. Because, you like you said, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And I guess Bill Burr.
Right. Yeah, he's very popular right now. Even Timothy Oliphant, it's like there seemed to be a lot of people who knew him from, what was he on? Was it Deadwood or something? I forget. I don't know. But it's a show that I hadn't watched, but there was a ton of people that knew him from whatever else it was that he was on.
I guess they did that with Moses Ingram, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it seems to be working, right? It's, and just as an old school Star Wars fan, I just never considered that it would work as well as it is. And it's kind of cool, but we're kind of crossing the streams and, you never know. The world might end. It's like
real possibility right there.
Especially when you bring Christopher Lloyd in. It's like, make sure there's no clock tower. That's all.
I just kind of want the Mandalorian to turn to him and go, "What the hell's a gigawatt?"
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, but at the same time, we draw the line. Like, all right, this got ridiculous.
Yes.
I loved it, but this was dumb.
Yeah, that's totally true.
All right. Han Solo's blaster.
The DL-44.
The DL-44.
Right.
This is going to sound like repetitive, but it's going up for auction.
Again?
Yeah, but it's a different one.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. So I guess I didn't realize before that the one that went up for sale originally was the one from Return of the Jedi.
Ah. Okay.
So the one that's going up for auction now is one of the 3 made for A New Hope.
Okay.
So this is one of the OGs.
Excellent. So, do we know which version this is?
It just says one of the original 3 for A New Hope.
Huh. Okay. The only reason I ask is I'm sure that people will correct me. Be more than happy to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but usually they'll have, I think, what's called the hero version. That'll be like the one used for all of the shots where it's up close and there's dialogue and things like that, and then they'll have like rougher versions used for all the action scenes and stuff, I believe. But
I'm looking through here to see if they say anything about. I don't see anything that indicates which version it might be.
Right.
Whether it's for the dialogue scenes or action.
Yeah.
Yeah, all it says is it is the sole surviving example of the original 3.
Okay.
Which I find amazing because they didn't apparently know this one existed.
Right. That's funny.
Was considered missing and lost forever. And then they're like, oh, this is the sole surviving one. You didn't know this one was there.
Right. That's the sole surviving one until, got another one here. Oh, that's funny.
But you said, we were kidding.
Right.
We just didn't want to give people ideas. What the other thing I think is funny is like it was missing, right? So missing,
right?
AKA like either like was thrown away or stolen,
right?
And now it comes back and it's for sale, and no one's like, "Hey, what the hell? How do you have this?"
Exactly. Not to mention that, if I'm not mistaken, it was, could still be a serviceable weapon. I mean, an old one, mind you, but potentially serviceable weapon still. Because, these were retrofitted, World War II and prior weapons they were using. Stuff glued on them.
Right.
I love it.
That'd be something if it was like it worked. That would be something.
Yeah, it would be. I
would just imagine with the way those scope mounting brackets are, it probably wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just interfere.
I believe, yeah, it might interfere with the action of it. Yeah, that's possible.
Because, let's be real. I've seen this Mauser in action.
Uh-huh.
A scope would be pointless.
It's a true statement. It's a true statement. Yes.
Because isn't this the one too that had like a full auto mode or something like that?
Like the real weapon?
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that.
I could be wrong. I thought it was.
Wow. In a pistol.
In a pistol, yeah.
Wow.
It's one of these German manufactured World War II weapons. They had a full auto function. And it was ridiculous. Like, you just watch it's like, yeah, you don't even need iron sights. It's pointless.
Yeah.
Because, like, it lifts like crazy.
Yeah.
It was pointless. Like, it emptied the whole magazine and, like it was done.
So I gotta say, I'm not aware of that. But you remind me that this is the same weapon that they actually had the attachable shoulder stock thing that you could attach to it.
Yeah, I think this is that weapon.
Solo. It is that weapon.
No, I mean with the full auto.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, I think this is that weapon. Like, I could be wrong. My knowledge of World War II firearms is not super extensive.
I was going to say, my curiosity on that whole subject got piqued when I found out they were using these in Star Wars, but so I looked into it a little bit, but I'm no expert for sure.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So the Return of the Jedi version of this sold for $550,000.
Nice. Wow. Yeah.
And that was in 2018.
Right.
So the pre-auction estimate for this one is between 300 and 500,000. I'm like, why would this one be less?
Exactly. This is like the OG DL-44.
Right.
Huh. I mean, this could potentially be the weapon that killed Greedo. McClunky. Whatever that means. I still don't know. But yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
McClunky.
Yes. They should etch that into the side of this one right here.
I love how they handle that, right? Like arguably the most controversial scene in Star Wars already.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it was changed in the special editions to where Greedo shot first.
Yep.
So already controversial.
Yes.
Go back in when the Blu-rays come out. Add McClunky.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like, oh, this will get him.
Exactly. I don't know, man. I got a feeling, unless it actually does have McClunky etched into the side of it, then I can see it going for 300 grand. But I got a feeling it's going to exceed the 500 grand here. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like it should.
Either that or if it had McClunky etched into the side of it and people are going to go, oh.
Yeah, that's why they did it.
It all makes sense now.
Right. Oh my God.
That means Han already had his blaster out and Greedo read it off the side.
No, it was under the table.
He was like, McClunky. It wasn't McClunky.
No.
It was McClunky.
I don't think so. Oh my God.
That went sideways.
Yeah, that was way sideways. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's got to go for more money. No matter how you slice it, Greedo's dead.
I agree. All right, so speaking of going sideways.
Yep.
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah, this guy.
I guess you just gotta hear the quote to believe it. So he says, if you watch a Star Wars, if you watch a Star Wars.
A Star Wars, right. Yeah. It's like, can you hook me up with the Google or something like that? Yeah.
He could have said, if you watch the Star Wars.
Right.
Like there's only one. So if you watch a Star Wars, you're pretty much going to get the same version of Star Wars each time. I mean, you can go over to Twitter and see the arguments. No, you won't.
Right.
He said it might have a little bit of humor. It might have a little bit of different animation. But you're always really in that same kind of world. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but he continues, right? Like, but with Marvel, you can have a whole different feeling, even within the Marvel universe, as opposed to the same kind of world.
Right.
AKA, for most of it, Earth.
Right. And sometimes that feeling is my stomach's a little upset, but yeah.
You can have a whole different feeling. Look,
I don't understand what he means, honestly.
Yeah. Look, I get it. He loves what he's working on.
Sure.
But Marvel feels cookie cutter to me.
Agreed. And I would argue that if you simply watch the very first and second outings of the Star Wars franchise, you would find a big difference between the two. Yes, they're in the same galaxy, but, you left the first one going, yeah, good guys won, yay. You left the second one, my God, my hero just got his hand chopped off and he found out the bad guy's his dad. Ugh. Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't really grasp what he's going for here.
Well, I think you nailed it when you said he's basically cheerleading his franchise, which is okay. But
I mean, this is like Simon Pegg, right? Like just a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
Saying like, oh, we don't have these problems in Star Trek. Like, dude, bullshit.
Exactly.
Like, seriously, go read the reviews for some of the Star Wars stuff. It's the same shit.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely cheerleading. And at some point, like, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you got to go, what?
Yeah.
Like, literally, there's people out there arguing right now about how different all the other Star Wars is from the original Star Wars.
Exactly.
Like, there are people screaming about this.
Yes. Yeah. We've screamed about this. I don't know. I guess when you have, titles as varied as She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, I guess, he's got a point, I guess.
I mean, I guess what he's going for is Marvel's not above doing something absolutely ridiculous and mundane.
There you go. Absolutely ridiculous.
They'll do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody loved that, right? Wait.
Yeah. I don't know. My experience has been, I will say this, my experience has been that most Marvel fans are quote unquote like fanboyish about it, right?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And this is with all due respect, but Marvel fans tend to lap up anything Marvel puts out with that sticker on it.
That's what I'm saying. And Star Wars fans can be very critical of the thing that they love.
Yes.
So, let's be real about it. So,
but let the MCU fan base age.
Oh yeah.
Like, the MCU is still relatively young in comparison to Star Wars.
There's no doubt.
And I shouldn't say relatively. It's very young compared to Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
Because when did the first Iron Man come out to kick this off?
Not sure, honestly.
That was the kickoff, right?
Yeah.
2008. Yeah, you got some growing to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Let me know when you get to 20 years.
Right. It's not even 15 yet. So
no.
Well, everyone's entitled to their thoughts. So,
Well, let's just put into context too. Every Marvel film that came out prior to that, before it was the MCU.
Oh, right. Yes. Like how many times are going to try it? The Spider-Man
hated,
thing?
super hated, ultra hated. Like they just didn't like them. The only ones that had any success was the X-Men films.
Right.
Anything outside of X-Men was like, go look at the Rotten Tomatoes. It's trash. Like,
yep. Yeah, totally. And there was reasons for that, right? I mean, looking back, it's like, wow, I'm surprised that it took off the way it did, because their track record leading up to that was less than stellar for sure.
Right. And hell, I thought Marvel was making a mistake, right? With, you had the MCU and then you had the shows that were coming out.
Right.
And when you watch Daredevil, you watch Punisher.
Oh, yeah, those shows. Yep.
Okay, those shows, like MCU, I'm lukewarm with.
Right.
the MCU, I watch them. I enjoy them when I watch them.
Right.
But it's nothing to write home about. But when I watch Daredevil and Punisher, those are fantastic.
Right.
Those are good. They're meaty. The story is really rich. I thought they were shooting themselves in the foot with those.
Right.
Like, oh, they're going to get a taste of what story's like. And it turns out, yeah, they just like Marvel. Like,
yep.
I mean, in all honesty, they could probably re-release Daredevil with Ben Affleck and it'd probably go crazy. That'd be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, it would. What's Batman doing in here? Yeah.
That'd be the only reason they'd hate on it. It's
exactly.
Like, hey, isn't that Batman? This is Marvel. We don't allow DC over here.
Right. Oh, that's funny. But
But hell, they don't even care. They'll cast the same guy for two characters in their universe.
Yeah?
Yeah, isn't Cable Thanos?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess I didn't pay that close of attention.
Pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Pretty sure he's Cable.
It's funny. It's one of those things. That sort of thing could never happen in Star Wars.
Yep, he's Cable.
Okay. There you go.
He's Cable and Thanos.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't care.
Right.
I mean, actually, they do that a lot, don't they? Because isn't Michael B. Jordan Warmonger and Human Torch?
I have no idea. I got to be honest. I don't even know who those characters are. Like I said, I enjoy Marvel movies when I see them.
So Michael B. Jordan was Warmonger in Black Panther.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure he was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four.
Oh. Blockbuster. That's right. Forgot about that one.
What was the Fantastic Four that people actually liked?
Huh?
Or Killmonger, not Warmonger. Yeah, he was Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four, and he was Killmonger.
Okay. So this is nothing new for them.
No.
Okay.
I crack up because I know there are people. It's Killmonger, not Warmonger.
Right.
Who cares?
Exactly. And like I said, you mentioned two characters right there. I did not know off the top of my head, to be honest. So I it all made sense when you told me who they were. But that's all right. So I guess we've kind of debunked his little statement here, didn't we?
I mean, debunked. Like, I'll be fair, right? We've debunked it from the Star Wars point of view.
Exactly.
And we're fanboying it up for our side, like just like he is for his side. So,
True.
Like, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Even though he's wrong.
He's wrong. Exactly. All right. Yes. Court adjourned.
Yeah, we're just endearing ourselves to the Marvel fan base too.
I know, but I have a feeling you're
we
not
do it
listening
time and
to
time
us.
again.
Right.
But like I said, to be fair, we enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're fun to watch, but like to us, it's nothing to write home about.
Right.
I just like a little story with my cinema.
Exactly. That's for sure.
As I just twist.
Hey, it's all right.
The tag.
It's already stuck in there. Go ahead and twist.
All right. I kid. Kind of. Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Visions.
Yeah.
So we know that there's a second volume of Visions coming.
Right.
Well, what we didn't know is so the next round of Visions is going to be, they're calling it a global tour.
Like they're going on the road?
I guess.
Okay.
Um, so
Curious as to how this works.
yeah, I was too when I read that. I was like, it's a world tour, like like stadiums and shit, or
Exactly. Yeah.
but no. The reason why I'm gonna butcher his name, James Wow.
Nailed it.
Is it good?
I hope so.
Waugh.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Doug's like, you can screw that one up, not me.
Exactly.
All right. But yeah, he discussed it as a global tour. And the reason being is it's going to include studios from Africa, Chile, England, Ireland, France, and India.
Visions?
Visions.
Okay.
Okay, so he says, this is where I got confused too. He says the first anthology is anime because we all love the style of it. But personally, my intention for Visions was to always let it be a more broad palette. What?
Wait. Star Wars Visions was supposed to be anime.
Right?
Huh.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I guess, if they're looking to expand the style that they're doing things in, you're right, that's fine. That's cool. I don't know.
Now, I guess his get out of jail free card right there is he says, but personally, my intention was. So maybe his intention was that wasn't Disney's intention.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say, Kathleen Kennedy never mentioned this is going to be a global tour of animation.
Yeah, she didn't start with like, we're kicking it off with a residency in Japan and then we're taking it around the globe.
Right. Nothing like that. Yeah. Okay. Man, I can't help but feel like, we're going to get some sort of like Danger Mouse looking episode, aren't we?
Okay.
I'm just saying, hey, that's from when I was a kid, that was my exposure to like British animation. So, that's just saying.
I mean, my only exposures to like British entertainment at all is like Benny Hill, Monty Python,
right,
and James Bond.
Whoa. James Bond?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call that British entertainment.
You wouldn't?
I mean, because it's got a British guy in there? I mean, yeah. That's Hollywood, dude.
Yeah, but it was written by a British guy.
Yeah, originally. And then rewritten by Hollywood screenwriters. That's what I'm saying.
But it was Ion, right? Ion wasn't Hollywood, was it?
Ion?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that dude's name was Ian.
No. The production company.
I know. It will be interesting to see what types of different animation we get from all of these different places they're talking about.
There's Eon Productions.
Eon. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Eon, Warner Brothers, United Artists. Yeah, oh yeah, Hollywood's all over this thing.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
They shot it in Pinewood.
Well, hey, Star Wars is shot in England. I mean, So, if there is...
Eon was a UK-based production company.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
Warner Brothers wasn't.
If there is a true diversity in animation style from all of these different places they're talking about getting input from these production companies from all around the world. It'll be interesting to see what we get this time with Visions. I thought it was interesting with the first season to see how different the anime was from anime studio to anime studio. And I thought that was cool, but
right
now it's going to be, from all different points around the world. So,
but like, the one thing I did like about it is like it was the same cuisine but different flavors.
Right. Yes.
Like, and it was something I was familiar with. So that's a little bit of bias there, right? Like,
yeah,
because anime's always been something that interests me. I never got super into it.
Right. I'm with you.
But it's always been interesting. I always liked the artwork of it.
Yes.
So Visions really drug me in. It was sold as it was anime, right? Like,
right.
Japanese anime. Like,
so my question for you then is this: do you think we're going to get input from all these different studios around the world to kind of incorporate? Because something Visions did was it took a lot of like, in Star Wars, but old Japanese themes, you know what I'm saying? And tied them together in a lot of cases. Where
right.
You think we're going to get that from like many places around the world now? And how like there's old
Well,
stories.
England, Ireland, and France is all going to be intertwined.
True. Yes. Very true. But
they couldn't stop fighting each other.
Right. But we do have like, there's someplace in Africa, you said, and someplace
no
in
English,
South America.
Influence there.
Huh?
No English influence there. You're right.
Yeah. Well, they have a history that goes deeper than that. I will say that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering if we're going to get some of that, if
same with India, but the English won't show up, right?
Right. Now, I got to be honest with you. That would be an interesting story to see incorporated into the Star Wars universe.
That would be damn good, actually.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, I'm a mashup here, Gandhi, Jedi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But,
I get it.
So, in that respect, it might be interesting, and I'm trying to broaden my thinking away from just animation styles to, okay, the story we get might be a little more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, tied to these areas,
diverse.
Yeah. I just hate saying it so much. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you know what?
Repeating
like, it would be like, and it would be like real diverse storytelling, right? Like,
yes,
not faux diverse storytelling.
Right.
Like we just want different versions of America.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Well, that'll be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, this is where it differs for me, right? Like, when they announced Visions, I was familiar with Japanese anime.
Right.
So announcing this piqued my interest because I know about it. I'm interested. I know nothing about African animation.
Right.
Chile animation, England, Ireland, France, India. I am
England.
I'm blind going in.
Danger Mouse.
I don't know Danger Mouse. All right.
Like, I do, but that was from like the early 80s. So yeah.
Yeah. You know where I'm from? The early 80s.
I know. but yeah, I'm with you. That's all I know. So, and that's really nothing. So, as far as styles go, it could be interesting there too. I really don't know how animation differs in these regions,
Right.
So that'll be enlightening for us as fans as well. So,
Right. All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk Ewan McGregor for a minute.
okay.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, I guess that's one and the same, right?
I was going to say that, but I didn't. Yeah, okay.
I meant Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show.
Right.
Because, yeah, anytime Ewan McGregor shows up on screen in any movie I'm watching, I'm like, hey, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Yep, exactly.
So, but where we're going here is, so Ewan McGregor confirmed that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was originally supposed to be focused on Luke Skywalker and Ben.
Huh. You don't say.
Now, he does say that they had a wait a minute moment. Like, hey, like, Luke Skywalker can't be that familiar with this dude.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
Like, he knows him, but he's like,
It's not like.
but he
they're
knows him
buddies.
as like the dude that lives over there.
Right. Crazy old hermit.
Yeah. So, I guess they realized, like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Right. Now, I think that could have been done. Okay.
Well, they made the Leia thing work, and
yes.
you were right away like, whoa.
Yeah, I totally was like, whoa. Yes.
But, I mean, they did a fairly good job of, like, making that all work.
It was fairly good. A little forced, but fairly good. Yes. So,
I mean, you're going to have that, though, right? Like, let's be fair. When you're starting to fit these things in the middle here, in these tightening time periods, because they're tightening. These unexplored areas are getting less and less unexplored.
true.
So as you start to keep telling these stories in these time periods, you're going to have to force a little bit. You're just going to have to in order to make good storytelling and to have characters interact.
I'm going to say I'm just not 100% convinced of that. And that's as far as I'll take it, because
Although if I'm working on that, I'm looking at this, like, we got this kid here playing young Leia, and I'd just be looking at him going, look, you'd be stupid not to do this.
do what? What do you talking about?
To use her, because she was great.
Totally. She was awesome. But at the time when they made this change, did they know that, I mean, did they have any more of the cast than
No,
Ewan?
I mean,
Who
we know
knows?
nothing about this.
Right, exactly. So,
No
I mean,
details around this.
but
And my guess is this change was made before they even
that's
before
my
they
guess
even
too.
really got going.
Yes.
I'm guessing there weren't much more than like loose treatments written.
Right. Now, yeah, somebody probably had the idea you brought up, is that, Luke and Ben cannot be that familiar with each other. Because we always got to go back to A New Hope, right? For this. And it's you mean old Ben? It's like that that acknowledgement of knowing who he is, but not really, really knowing him. You know what I mean? So I still think they could have done something, because it didn't have to be like a buddy cop show, with Luke and Ben, but there could have been some small interactions, you know. And I'm sure throughout Obi-Wan's time on Tatooine, there were what we call it, like accidental interactions where, you know, they weren't really an accident kind of thing, where Obi-Wan's just kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, where Obi-Wan was just throwing shit at Luke, seeing if he could stop it with the Force.
Yeah. Every time Owen's coming back, you leave him alone. He's not showing, you know, that sort of thing.
Right. Seriously, stop throwing rocks at my kid.
Exactly.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's the sort of thing they could have done. You know, it would have. And I hate to sound this way because I'm not the one doing the work, but it would have been more work to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, what we got was totally serviceable. You know, it was good. I liked it. You know, I will definitely go back and rewatch it for sure.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it's not bad. I would have liked to have had a little more something having to do with Luke. Mainly just because, you know, it's kind of the focus of the original trilogy. So, you know, especially in the beginning on Tatooine.
I mean, I think they just don't want to tell a Luke story. That's what it's coming down to.
Well, it could be. It could be.
Like, Luke, we can't touch that.
Right.
So, all right. So, Ewan also spoke about Liam Neeson's return as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right.
And I just want to make mention, like he said a lot of like really flattering things about Liam Neeson and all that stuff, and looking up to him.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
But the thing I'd like to point out is, I think this is the one solid bit of evidence we have that Liam Neeson was actually involved.
Oh, right.
Because he's not credited. He did all kinds of interviews and stuff leading up to it, saying that he's only going to do Star Wars if it's on a big screen and all this kind of crap.
Right.
You know, never confirming his involvement at all.
Right.
And then this, like, okay, this confirms his involvement. Like, I was starting to assume that they might have used some deep fake stuff. You know, we've seen all this technology they've been using lately.
It's true. True.
To do voices. Like, they can make anyone say whatever now.
Yep. I don't know. Interesting.
So as far as I've seen, this is the first actual confirmation that we've had that Liam Neeson was actually involved in this project.
Right.
I mean, I assumed he was just because of the new dialogue, but as this went along, I was kind of like, maybe he wasn't. Maybe they used that, like, voice changer thing that they were using.
Right. So, I just wonder if it's,
because he's done plenty of movies for them to have source dialogue.
It's true. It's true.
An awesome thing about Liam Neeson, he sounds the same in everything.
Yes, also true.
He uses the same voice.
I think this is potentially, you know, like we talked about before, just the setup for more Obi-Wan. You know, I think we might get like a season 2, and it's going to be what most people were expecting for a season 1. You know, the quote unquote training with your old master to learn how to do the blue glowy thing. So,
right.
I mean, that's one of those things that we, the Star Wars fan collective, we're clamoring for.
That's some strange training, though, man. Like you're gonna do all this training, but in order to see results, you got to die.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine. Yes.
I think.
Well, if what I was told is true.
Yep. If I got this right.
Yes.
I'm really going to mess with you on the other side.
Exactly. God. That's beautiful.
If I got this wrong, I need some of that high ground.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I think I think that's what the whole point of that was, to be honest about it. You know, is to kind of like gauge a reaction, get the temperature of the fans, see what they're feeling like with, do we really want to go down this road with, you know, the training Obi-Wan thing? You know, that's the whole point of having Liam there. I got a feeling he'll play a major role in a season 2 if there is one. Because, you know, I think if all of the fans have anything to say about it, there will be another season, right?
I'm sure.
Because, you know, it's...
And if, I'll say this, and if having a blue glowy visit you holds true, they're not going to stop visiting you. They're going to keep showing up.
Yeah.
Especially when it's tough.
Right. But apparently it was Obi-Wan's fault, so, yeah. What took you so long?
Right. Yeah, I've been here the whole time, dude.
Right.
Like, apparently not. I was talking to you.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I agree that, you know, this is definitely the most we've gotten.
Yeah.
You know, about Liam being there. So.
Yeah, all right. So moving on.
Yeah.
Colin Trevorrow.
Right.
Not a lot here.
No.
But he was talking with comicbook.com during his promotion for Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
And I like the way they put it. He addressed a possible return to Star Wars. Right?
He addressed it.
Yeah, he said, I don't know.
Like, wait a minute. Are they trying to imply that they didn't ask him? Hey, remember that franchise you got fired from? Hey, got a question for you about that.
Yeah, typically, like, if someone asks you about, you know, a job you got fired from, if you're ever going to go back, you're like, I don't know.
Right.
In my court.
Right. Exactly. I mean, this is what I'm getting at here with this, right? It's like we talk about
now,
it. What?
Let's be fair. Was he fired? They parted for creative differences, right?
Oh yeah. In Hollywood, isn't that equal fired?
That equals fired.
Okay,
but
good. I mean, that's what I thought. So, I my thing is, the guy's trying to promote his dinosaur movie. Let him promote his dinosaur movie. Let's, you know, when actors and are out on the circuit promoting movies that they're in other than Star Wars, they're always asked about Star Wars. And okay, cool. I'm all for that. But here, when you're let go from a project or part for creative differences, just let that go, right? It's probably a sore spot for the guy. You know, I mean, why? I don't know. Why keep poking at that? You know?
Right. And his answer, like, while being like, like he was very political in it, right? Like he didn't say no.
Right.
He didn't say no, like they can go, you know what, themselves, you know, like
Right. Exactly.
he was very political. Like he was very astute and gave a whole long explanation. Like he's been doing these big franchise films, you know, blah blah blah.
Right.
And he kind of wants to just do other stuff.
Yeah.
So while he said I don't know, his answer, if you read the whole thing, is no.
Exactly. Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Like when someone gets let go from a project or parts from a project and they're out promoting something else they did, yeah, don't bring that up.
Exactly.
It's in poor taste.
Right. It's always fun and games when there's a potential for this person to really come back into the Star Wars franchise here. You know, when it's Oscar Isaac, promoting something else. What is it? Moon Knight or something or whatever. Talk about Star Wars. Cool. Like he was in Star Wars, right? He was not let go of Star Wars. It's all good, He might be like, I'm done with Star Wars for now, whatever. That's all fine. This guy parted ways with the company, right? And it was a big to-do when it happened. This guy probably just wants to move on at this point. So, I don't know. Just kind of how I feel about that one.
Yeah, I agree. Just let him do his thing. Let him talk about his dinosaur movie.
Exactly. Sorry.
What?
Dinosaur movie. Jurassic World, right?
I take it you're not a fan of the Jurassic.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those movies I can watch, but it's not.
I'll say I really enjoyed the first three.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed the first Jurassic World.
Okay.
The second one I fell asleep.
Okay.
I haven't seen the third.
Isn't this supposed to bring all the original characters back or something?
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to see it, which means I got to go back and watch the one I fell asleep in.
There you go. See? Now you've got goals. This is good.
Right. Yeah, once I saw that they were bringing the other people back, I'm like, damn it.
Right. Yeah, this is...
And I know what they're doing. Like, they're bringing them back for them to say, like, I could have told you this was a bad idea.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Last time, we said this was a bad idea.
Right. I mean, isn't this how it goes, though? Whenever we have these resurgences of franchises or movies, singles, whatever, it's always the people that were in the original, right? Even though it was really bad. Independence Day, right?
Right.
Yeah. You got the president, the crazy old guy, just no good. This is no good. Probably the same thing here, right? I'm sure Jeff Goldblum was in this, right? Saying, don't mess with this. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be a
I mean, what was the line in the first movie? Like it was really the best line. He's like, I brought you out here to defend me from these guys, and the only one on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer.
Nice. I like that.
That's one of the best parts of the first movie. I mean, there's a ton of good parts in the first movie.
Right on.
Like it was right, Jeff Goldblum, right? Where he's like what do you say? God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
Nice. Yes. See, I did see that one. So
Yeah, I mean,
was a good
Jeff
one.
Goldblum, right? Like,
Right, exactly.
I mean, you mentioned it, Independence Day.
I know. I know.
It's a great film. I still got to watch the second one.
Yeah, I think I tried. I think I fell asleep in that one.
I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, so.
Which sucks because the first one's so good.
I know.
All
Anyway,
right.
yeah.
Got to keep moving on here. We got one thing left, and ball's in your court on this one, Doug. This is Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Yes, they were talking with Entertainment Weekly.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
Oh yeah, it's all in promotion for season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, at least it's about Star Wars.
Yeah, true, very true.
It's not a dinosaur movie.
No, so
they know what they're doing.
they there was a lot of just the same old stuff that they said over and over in the past, but a few little nuggets that I thought were kind of interesting, funny, whatever, here Jon Favreau basically talking a little bit about the timeline and how it weaves together and new shows and stuff.
All the shows that we've worked on, whether it's Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, now Skeleton Crew, they all exist within the same time frame. They all exist after Return of the Jedi. So between, I guess you'd say, between Episode 6 and Episode 7, there's 30 years there that's somewhat unexplored, certainly on the screen. To some extent, it's been explored through fiction and through extended universe stuff. So there's a lot of room for us to tell stories, and there are a lot of characters that are in play because we know who's around at that time. And so in The Mandalorian, we begin to introduce those characters. We begin to remind people who knew them already, or if you aren't familiar with the other work and you just are coming in through this show, we're introducing them for the first time. And this affords us the opportunity to have stories that interconnect and characters that go from one story to the other. And that creates a very rich fabric for us to explore.
So there's not really a whole lot of new information there. Just one thing I picked up on was the Skeleton Crew being part of what they're working on. And, how openly he's talking about everything just kind of like intermingling together, which we've seen already, but, he also mentions the whole time period that you mentioned getting like, tightening up earlier in the show here,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's not a ton there, but
right, but anyway, they go on to talk about all the great people they've had to work on these shows and stuff, and again, something we've mentioned, with Christopher Lloyd joining Mandalorian's cast and everything. They talk about who they've gotten already and who they might want.
I tell you, we've been pretty lucky with who we've had. I mean, we have everyone from Mark Hamill to Werner Herzog. So
Amy Sedaris.
Amy Sedaris is great.
But she's just Star Wars fabric now. Like, she had no idea. Now she's in it, which I love.
That's right.
She's awesome. But
George.
George
Lucas.
I don't know.
That would be the best cameo. Well,
he'd have to be the son of Baron Papanoida or something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't even speculate on that. It's hard for me to imagine what that day would be like.
Oh, I love it.
Dave can't help himself.
I know. Exactly. Here you have Jon Favreau just wanting to get George. Here, come on, just be a part of my Star Wars, right? And Dave's like, I worked with this guy for 10 years. I don't think it's going to work, man. I don't think it's going to happen. I love it.
Dave's just going like, do you realize how much he's going to yell at me if I call him and ask him to be in a show?
Yes, exactly. Yes. He's going to yell at me a lot, and it's going to suck. And he might never call me again. Yeah. And
he's gonna be like, "That's it. I'm buying it back."
Exactly. God. Oh,
it's ruined.
Please. Anyway, but I love how Dave's
he's
head
just waiting for it to be worth $2 billion. Like,
right? Exactly. Not gonna make a profit on this thing,
fuckers.
But Dave, I love the way Dave's head even works. Right? He's like, I know that George has already played a character in Star Wars, so now if he's gonna be in our Star Wars, he's gonna have to be like the son of that. Oh my God, whereas Jon Favreau's probably like not even thinking about any of that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just want George to be in my show. So it just cracks me up. But
he's like, can't he just be a bartender like John Williams did? Like,
right, exactly. Yeah.
Like Mark Hamill's in like 30 scenes.
Yeah. I don't know. That was pretty good though. You knew they started getting into talking about cameos. You just knew he was going to say it. Oh, he's going to say it. George. Oh my gosh. He said it. But.
I mean, I'm with him. I'd love to see George cameo.
Oh, sure. So, staying on the subject of George, this is some acknowledgement from Favreau on seeing this interaction between Dave and George and how that goes.
Well, he's been on the set when Dave's been directing, so I love watching Dave and George together. George, I have tremendous respect for. I've been very fortunate to have great conversations where I've learned a lot. But when I see Dave and George Lucas together, that's like a whole lot. Because how long did you work together? 12 years?
Yeah, close to that. Yeah, like at least at 10. And
yeah,
I mean, it was a masterclass every day. Was a masterclass, and so I'm trying to apply that every day and pass on what I've learned. I mean, it is the Jedi experience I've had, and so honestly, that's probably my biggest responsibility now, is to try to explain to people what George explained to me about why this all works, why it's different and unique from any other fantasy series or fiction out there. It's George lent it a unique point of view, and it's something that we have to take care of and work on to improve again and again and again.
So, I gotta say, listening to these guys and knowing partially, not fully, but partially, how they are involved in these projects, I think the statement holds true that having these two guys together almost gets you a George Lucas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's I don't know. It's well,
you kind of have the same dynamic that you had on the Clone Wars, right? You have Dave being super, at the time, Dave being super ambitious and coming up with these ideas, and then George reeling those back a little bit, and then them coming to a good balance.
Right.
Now you got Jon Favreau being super ambitious, coming up with a lot of creative stuff. Dave Filoni, having learned Star Wars from George Lucas, I mean, he's taken on that role. He's getting that balance.
Yes.
And that's why these shows are the way they are.
Yes.
They just fit.
There is that aspect of it. Okay. I 100% agree with everything you just said. You also have, the encyclopedic knowledge Dave has, okay, and that's of story, okay. That's what I'm getting at there. And then you look at Favreau and his knowledge of the let's say mechanical workings of doing a film or a show and making that work. And even with all of the new technology, right? All the stuff that he was doing with the Jungle Book and all that stuff, it's on the level of what George was doing back in the day, with all the new advancements and everything. And look what he did with the volume and all that. It all works together between these two guys very much the same way George was holding it all together by himself back in the day. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm going with this. It's somehow, and I think it was, to all of our benefit, a fateful meeting they had on Skywalker Ranch. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know, just to round it out, I think Dave has a way of looking at what Star Wars should be that we all just need to remember and keep in mind.
Again, Star Wars is something that ultimately should make people feel happy. It should make you feel good. It should be uplifting. And that's what I felt in that hall when people are appreciating everyone. And I know it's something that it's just so important to the DNA of this thing. When you think of when you left the original Star Wars A New Hope, the theater, people were cheering at the end. People felt great. At a time when, you could argue things weren't that great outside. So I think it's so important to give people this positive feeling that happens through these characters, this acknowledgement of these actors where people can come together and say basically thank you. I mean, that's all I hear all weekend if I run into people is thank you for this, thank you for that. And I think,
I've not heard that before, and I've worked on a lot of things.
So just remember. Oh, what?
You never heard that on Marvel?
Yeah.
What?
I know. This is the Iron Man guy we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, totally weird. But yeah, that's
Another guy just said Star Wars sucks.
Right. Yeah. The green guy. Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah.
But like Dave said, ultimately, Star Wars should just make you happy.
Yes.
And,
this all should just make you happy, right?
Exactly.
It's all about fun. And,
yes.
Even like right there, like we're poking fun at other franchises, things like that. It's about fun.
Absolutely.
We enjoy those products. Those people enjoy, their fandom and stuff like that.
I mean,
it's all about fun.
For how many years since the movie Fanboys stoked up the Star Trek Star Wars rivalry thing has been poking at each other with that. That's been hilarious over the years.
Well, that's where that's great, right? Like, because we've all lived that Star Trek Star Wars fanboy rivalry, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And like it never was as mainstream as it was after Fanboys, but
right.
That's always been a fun thing. Like, it's all about fun. Dave's absolutely right. It's about having a good time. It's about separating yourself from reality because, like he said, sometimes things aren't that good outside.
Exactly.
So when you go inside that theater and you sit down to watch something to escape.
Yes. It's all about escapism.
Yeah. It's all about having a good time, and it's all about having fun and letting yourself go and being sucked into a fantasy adventure. So right on. Dave hits the nail on the head right there. And I understand where he's coming from. Like I said, I've said before, and probably gets annoying at some points, having been to a celebration, you see that.
Yes.
When you're at Star Wars Celebration, everybody there is enjoying themselves. They're celebrating Star Wars. They're having a good time.
Right.
And it's all about the love of Star Wars and just the things about it that are so fun to you. And I think sometimes we go to those events and we come back and we forget about the fun we had there.
Yeah. If anything, we should let Star Wars creep into our real lives a little bit, not the other way around, right?
Yep. We should definitely have more lightsaber duels in day-to-day.
Exactly. Yes. Because that's totally good cardio.
Good cardio. It's stress relieving.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and you get to smack some people in the face.
Whoa, let's not get carried away now, Joe. I mean, now, as kids, this always happened. But, I mean, come on, you can have a little more control as adults.
Yeah, it always happened accidentally.
Yeah, I know.
Wink, wink.
Right. It's just so true. Oh, yes.
You did it, you laughed, and you're like, I didn't mean it.
Yeah, exactly. Our flashlights with tubes on them for his lightsabers, how did they always get to the point where they fold in half? It's like,
right.
Yeah,
It was always over your sibling's head.
Yes. Swinging a little too hard, I guess. Oops.
On accident.
Yes. 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 The quotey fingers were up in the air. Yes. I saw that.
And I'm just saying, lightsabers nowadays, they're just a little more stout.
That's true. That is true. They just leave marks on people now. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of funny. You look at all the toys, right? Like from your childhood and stuff, and all the things that they made safer. Lightsabers are not one of those.
That's true. They are much more dangerous now and more expensive. So
yes.
Yes, that is very true. Oh, too funny.
All right. Well, if you have anything to add to the conversation, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, at The Wars and More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore, at The Wars and More on Instagram. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.